How's it going, everyone? Welcome to a Football for Fun video. I am Daniel. I am a Texans fan, but also I'm a Baylor fan. So, sick 'em Bears, right? I actually went to the Baylor Auburn game tonight. It was a Friday night game against Auburn. Very electric atmosphere. I've been to Baylor games before, but this was a little bit of a different experience. Tickets sold out. It was very electric. A lot of people there, and it was a Friday night against a really good opponent. Normally, especially historically, Baylor has played like very crappy opponents to start in week one, but this game against Auburn obviously is going to be no joke. I think they're an SEC team, right? They're pretty good and have historically been very good. So I was at the game, just a few instant reaction thoughts. I will say though, I'm very much a college football casual. Even for Baylor, obviously I'm a Baylor guy. I couldn't name before the game. I couldn't have named more than like one or two players on Baylor. I think part of what's tough with college football is players coming in and out, whereas with the NFL, they're mostly consistent. And so like with Baylor, I mean, I knew like Sawyer Robertson obviously before, who's our quarterback, and our running back is something Washington. But anyway, so I'm not necessarily coming to you with the most well-informed takes about basically the outlook of our season and predictions and things like that, but just having watched the game with my own eyeballs, especially at the game, I did want to give some thoughts. Overall, I mean, we lost 38-24, I believe, so we lost by 2 scores. It wasn't really a close game. I mean, we started up 3-0 and then they scored twice, and like we tried to play catch up. I think there were opportunities we had to drive down the field. I don't even know if that's the case. We were down one possession at some point. Yeah, we were down a possession. We started to get momentum, and then they returned the kickoff for a touchdown, which is like at that point it was basically over. But first, what I wanted to say is that you know, this Jackson Arnold kid on from for Auburn, he just ran all over our defense. I mean, this was basically the Jackson Arnold show, right? He's 20 years old. He was a transfer out of Oklahoma, I believe. I don't know how good he is necessarily as a passer. I would say though, if he can refine his passing abilities, I would watch out for him. I have no idea if he's an NFL prospect, probably not, but the dude can run. Not quite Lamar Jackson level, but I would say this is definitely Russell Wilson in his prime, Deshaun Watson as far as mobility. He's just like, juking guys. There are plays designed for him. There was like a critical like 4th and 1 play where they went for it, and I think we were down one possession or something. So it would have been huge if we could stop them. And I was even like, I was shouting in the crowd, like, you gotta watch the quarterback. And sure enough, the quarterback just took it and ran, not only for the first down, but for a touchdown. So this Jackson Arnold kid just torched our defense. Our defense looked sloppy overall. The kid didn't necessarily have the greatest passing game, but kind of did what he needed to do. But sometimes in football, you just need to do what you can do to get the job done, right? If you don't have the greatest passing game, you can run the ball down their throats and win the game that way. That could be good enough. Sawyer Robertson actually had a pretty good game. On the box score, he had a really good game, like 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. I think a lot of that was due to trailing. Like when you're trailing, he's kind of forced to throw. And I would say, just given those circumstances, I was pretty impressed. What I was not impressed by was our play caller. Now, I don't know last year, like, how good he was, but, like, when I watched the game with my own eyeballs, I saw multiple 4th and goals, as well as one or two other, like, 4th and short situations where Sawyer Robertson's passing, and on a schematic level, if it's like 4th and goal, 4th and short, something like that, and you're passing, I expect the ball in and out of his hands in like 2 seconds. Because I expect a design play, maybe to a slot guy, maybe to a run. I don't know. I don't know schematically, like necessarily what it would be, but I expect, just get the ball snapped and then throw. What Robertson would do is he get the ball snapped and then he's just standing there. He's like, dude, it's 4th down. Like, if you don't have a play, you're just kind of improvising there. And like, improvising's fine when you're down 2 touchdowns. It's like 2nd and 10, and you just need to like toss it to someone, right? But when it's 4th down, like that can't happen. And I'd probably blame that more on the coordinator than the quarterback. Although I'd have to like do a deeper look to see what that's actually the case. I don't even know who our offensive coordinator is. I just know Aranda's our head coach. Again, certified college football casual, right? But our Washington, our running back who's supposed to be good, had an okay game. I thought maybe we should have established the run a little earlier. Maybe that would have helped us out because I think he's a really good running back. Also, what I will say on the play calling slash like general offensive decision making is that we had several just like quarterback to halfback. I think flats are what it's called if that's correct. That were very sloppy. One of them was dropped. I think another was like maybe fumbled. And there was another that I mean there were one or two more that were caught, but basically the guy's just going for nothing, right? So there were a lot of like play calling stuff that I thought were very questionable. I thought again when it came down to just like improvising and like trying to make a good play or something like that. Because I've seen Baylor games in the past, where I think there was one year we were bad, and like I was like, you need to just like be more aggressive down the field, right? I was definitely impressed with that, but I think there just needs to be more structure in the offense. And also, we just shot ourselves in the foot with like, penalties, holding calls. There was one egregious face mask, which was not called. It was pretty egregious. Like the whole crowd could see it. And then of course they played on the jumbotron. It's very egregious face mask, and the whole crowd boos. It was actually kind of funny because we boo. It's a very loud boo, and then the offense, they have to run their plays. They can pick up like a 5 or 6 yard play, and then the crowd cheers, and then they go back to booing, which is like pretty funny. I think the play after that, we got a pass interference call, so that kind of like made up for it in a way, I guess. I don't know. I think that was a drive where it was 4th and goal and we didn't get it or something like that. But anyway, those are my thoughts. Trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to mention. No, really, just that Auburn quarterback just like ran all over us. We couldn't really get much going. I mean, once you're down, see, I thought overall it was a pretty decent game on paper. And maybe except for our defense, we had a couple of good sacks, but that was just about it. No interceptions. And like offensively, it was a pretty decent game. But when you're down 2 possessions pretty early on, there's only so much you can do. I feel like it's easier to think like when you're down 2 possessions with like 8 minutes to go, it feels like watching on TV, you're much more convinced that comeback could happen than when you're at the game. Because I feel like when you're at the game, you realize how long the field is. So you have to drive like 80 yards, twice. So that's obviously a challenge. Although I do say that the one NFL game that I've been to was the Texans versus Bills playoff game where we were down 16-0, which may not sound, I mean, it's not 28-3, but in a very slow moving game, especially in a Bill O'Brien offense, 16-0 is like an eternity, but Deshaun Watson, DeAndre Hopkins basically just made some plays, and we just got back in it, went to overtime, and the rest was history. So yeah, just wanted to put those thoughts out there. I think we'll be fine. I don't know if we have what it takes to win a Big 12 championship. I know a lot of people are picking us to be like dark horses to like make it to the game or win, and therefore we would, I guess, we get our college football playoff, selection or something like that. But I think that's unlikely. I think the most likely outcome is we win 7, 8 games, just get a bowl game. Because like we have number 11 ranked Arizona State, I think, in a couple weeks. We have a lot of tough games coming up, so I think it'll be pretty hard. I mean, honestly, like, yeah, if we come out of this with like 7, 8 wins, I'd be pretty happy. I'm not exactly sure if we can make it to a Big 12 title game. That'll be pretty tough. But anyway, I think we'll be fine, and I think our defense just needs to be improved. I think we need to be a little bit less sloppy. Our play calling can hopefully improve, especially on 4th and goal. And yeah, that's all I have for you. Thank you all so much for watching. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to Football for Fun. If you enjoyed my casual Baylor football takes, you can subscribe. Let me know if there are any other Baylor fans, and I might have more content out. You never know. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all for the next video. Peace.